Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to greet all my YouTube family with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Once again, this is the 5th edition of the Black Amnesia Show. I want to thank you all for coming here and joining me on this show. Man, it's been a beautiful week, been an interesting week, but I want to talk about a few things. One of the things I want to talk about is the Middle East situation. Right now, things have appeared to have quieted down, but I know, and the world is just waiting for the release. Like I said, 45 has been given orders by the international bankers, who is Israel, and Israel has been given orders by the Jesuits, who is none other than the Vatican. So basically, it's the Vatican, the aka Jesuits, who have given the orders handed down. They want Iran, and they've been wanting Iran for a minute. So they're getting this thing started up. It's not surprising, though. This has been the history of the Jesuits. You know, I gave you all some information on Facebook. I told you, I showed you earlier today and yesterday on who the Jesuits are. The Society of Jesus, is what they're called. These people have been around since the mid 1500s. They have controlled governments. They have controlled emperors, presidents, foreign leaders, or leaders of different countries all over the world. They control the banks. They control all of the secret societies. They control all of them. They created the Illuminati. They created all of these secret societies. And all of them fall up under the umbrella of the Jesuits. So they run operations. They run the whole world. And I gave this information over several times, throughout my time on Facebook. But I wanted to share this on YouTube. And of course, the information is on YouTube as well. And it's in other documentaries that you can find throughout the YouTube world. So it's nothing new that I have given in terms of who the Jesuits are. But a lot of black folks don't know who the Jesuits are. A lot of black folks didn't know who the Boule was. The Boule is a secret order of black folks who are been recruited out of the fraternities and sororities. And not even everybody in the sororities fraternities know who the Boule is. But they are been ordered by the white supremacists to monitor, to control, or regulate black empowerment. They control that. This is one of the reasons why I always was curious about how these black organizations, they have millions of members they get every year. They get money every year. They got athletes in their organizations. They got movie stars. They got, you name it, doctors, lawyers, but yet they don't own anything. They don't own any banks. They don't own any grocery stores. They don't own any kind of real estate. Now, individually, a person that's in the organization might own real estate or might own something, but I'm talking about as a group, as an organization, they don't own probably anything. So then this has seemed to be all the way across the board. So I got to wondering, well, why is this? Why is it that these black organizations who have been around for millions of years, they don't own any type of businesses? One has to wonder. They have all of these elite people that have money, have status in the black community, but yet they don't own anything. So I found that very strange until I found out that they had been instructed not to have those things. This explains a lot. This also explains why the great Dr. Martin Luther King was murdered by the Boule, or not the Boule, but he was murdered by the Jesuits. you know, and because he broke code, he was a Boule member, but he broke code. And so because he broke code and he was talking against the Vietnam War, he was talking against the money systems, you know, so they didn't like that. You know, as long as he was talking about the black and white issue, he was all right. But when he started talking about the money issue, well, then things changed. His own people had him set up too. I have no doubt that his own people who was around him had him set up. And you know, I believe, I believe his people had him set up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't have no facts on it, so I'm not going to really say no names because I don't want to say names of people, you know, and I don't have no facts. I always like to have facts when I say, you know, the actual facts. So, but I believe his people around him set him up to be assassinated. I have no doubt about that based on what I have studied throughout the years of Dr. Martin Luther King and those so-called disciples that were around him. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's interesting how certain ones ended up getting certain positions. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's a whole nother situation. I'll let you read between the lines on that one. But anyway, getting back to the Jesuits. The Jesuits, the Secret Society of Jesus, this organization of so-called men of God who've been around since the mid-1500s, have been doing a lot of dirty work. They have a lot of people do that dirty work. Assassinations, murders, you name it, they do it. They destroy governments. They sick one government on another government. And since they control the Federal Reserve, they control the money systems, they control the governments. Because all of these governments are in debt to the central banks, the world banks. So if they control the world banks, that means they control the government. So just wanted to put it all in perspective, you know what I'm saying, so you could kind of get an understanding. I wanted to do some of this stuff on Facebook because everybody is not subscribed to my my channel yet. So hopefully they will. Hopefully, you know, they'll get on there, subscribe. They like what they, if you know what they hear, they will. And I'm going to be going live real soon. So just give me a little time. I still got some things I got to get together. But right now I'm just recording. But I want to say that, yeah. I just want to say that things are going down. You know what I'm saying? I still feel that Iran, they're going to attack Iran. And I feel that they're right now, they're creating a situation so they can attack Iran and be justified for doing it. So I still think that's going to happen. And I've been talking about that for the last 3 years, why the Jesuits selected their president, Mr. Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, AK-45. So yeah, it's, you know, again, I just wanted to show my Facebook followers who are on Facebook today, I wanted to show them some information about this organization, this secret organization who hide behind the scenes, who have had presidents assassinated, governors assassinated, emperors. Well, not I don't want to say well, yeah, they have had emperors, and they've even assassinated popes. They've even murdered popes. Yes, they have. So these guys are very very wise, wickedly wise. You know what I'm saying? And they control the world. You know, and so being a poor righteous teacher, 5%er, my job is to expose them and to give the people the truth. You know what I'm saying? Now they can take it or leave it. You know, it's up to them. But it ain't just a black man like myself telling it. It's other white scholars and people who have studied the Jesuits for years. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's documented information on these people. You know what I'm saying? You can look them up and you'll find them. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to cover that. And then, you know, also wanted to talk about, it was mentioned when I showed the clip on the Jesuits and everything. It was talking about some of the Jews that were good, you know, they were all Jews, because all Jews ain't bad, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't to say that, you know, if I'm talking about Israel, then I'm talking about all the Jews, because I'm not. I'm talking about the Zionists, those who control Israel, those who control even the citizens of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Those ones whose people had their own people murdered in Germany. You know what I'm saying? You know, over 60 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And those same people are the ones who gave the Nation of Islam this book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. You know what I'm saying? So This book was given. It's 3 volumes. This is volume 1. This is the first volume. It's 2, and it's another book. But the by J and L T Levine. You know what I'm saying? You can see them. See if you can see that. I want to make sure you get a good look at that. Levine. You know. Anyway, this book caused a lot of controversy between the Jewish community. But basically, it was given by the Orthodox Jews. They had given it, you know what I'm saying, to the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? And so if you have a library of truth and you share that information with another community, hey, it's coming from that community. So people were getting mad at Mr. Farrakhan and Nation of Islam. They was getting upset about that. They're like, oh, man, you know, you guys are anti-Semitic. No, we're not. No. The truth is in the books. The truth gives the history of the relationship between blacks and white Jews. You know what I'm saying? Which had not been a great history in terms of slavery, in terms of them owning them slave ships and owning property. It would have made millions, and how they made millions, and see all that free labor, which has started the insurance companies and the banks, you know what I'm saying, that are thriving today. You know, the J.P. Morgans, excuse me, the J.P. Morgans, the Chase Banks, Bank of America, and all the rest of the banks that have around the world. Again, this is nothing new, but this is something that started here. You get books like this will tell you that history. You know, it'll give you the foundation of how things got started, you know what I'm saying, dealing with blacks and Jews. You know what I'm saying? And so all of this, I'm saying all this, what does this have to do with the Middle East situation? What does it have to do with us? Well, a lot of black young people are in the military. And if this thing goes down, this is another way I feel that they're going to send, you know, black folks to the slaughter. You know what I'm saying? I believe that. Unfortunately, I hate that. I know a lot of young people join the military because, you know, they want to go to school and, you know, they couldn't afford it or whatever, you know, and they, you know, saying things of this nature. So I get that, you know what I'm saying? But, man, it's a price to pay when you're up under the belly of the beast in terms of saying your soul on a dotted line. And I know some military people who are watching this, I know they'll be a witness to this. They'll say, yeah, man. Some will say, you know, well, I benefited from being in the military. And some did, they got benefits. But I think, you know, a large proportion will probably say, man, if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have done it over again, you know, especially after the residuals of what they had to go through and deal with, you know what I'm saying? So, but nevertheless, man, I'm praying for those brothers and sisters that are in the military. And I just hope, you know, that these devils don't send them to the slaughter. But I still feel that that's what's going to happen, because this is a wicked system. It's wicked. And I'm telling you, you know, no matter how much we pray, no matter how much we fast or whatever, we still dealing with a wicked system, and these people still do evil. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just praying for that. Yeah. Praying that we don't go to war, but I still believe we're going to go to war with Iran. You know, I just hope we don't have that many casualties, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to pray for that. Yeah, on the background, you see right here, this is a picture of a black warrior, a Muslim black warrior. This picture was painted probably, I say in the early 70s, probably about probably about 50 years ago. And maybe not 50 years. I would say probably about 45 years ago. It was my uncle, Oscar X Rankin. You know what I'm saying? He was a great artist. And, you know, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about my uncle. He was an artist. He drew a lot of pictures. Back in the early 70s, he was also a hitman for the mafia. You know what I'm saying? So he had a good side and he had a bad side. And unfortunately, the bad side, you know, he ended up getting murdered or getting took out by the mob. You know what I'm saying? They had a contract on him when his best friends, so-called best friends, took him out. I learned that story through my late aunt, Alberta Rankin. May Allah be pleased with her. You know what I'm saying? She told me that story, and she also gave me this this portrait of with my uncle Oscar Rankin. So, you know what I'm saying? So this is a warrior I got in the back, you know what I'm saying? So you look at it, he's powerful. Just take a look at it. I mean, it's just, you can see the, you know, beautiful, ain't it? Yeah. So, yeah, so I like to, when I get on the air sometime, I'll have different posters and different things on in my background, but you know, I want to start off with that image of a great Muslim warrior from Africa. You know what I'm saying? All praises due to Allah. But anyway, family, I'm not going to be on here long, but I wanted to be strong. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on in the world that we're living in today. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they had the Oscars. I want to talk about the movies a little bit. They had the Oscars, and of course, there was no black actors or actresses, you know, was, you know, nominated, you know, but that, I ain't surprised at that, you know, that I don't even get into that anymore about the performances of black actors and actresses in Hollywood. You know that's why you got to have your own thing. So you know that's water under the bridge, as they would say. But I know that as far as different TV series, I know that Power and the Godfather of Harlem, you know, some of those shows, man, Forrest Whitaker and, you know, different actors. And then, of course, and Power, you know what I'm saying, you know, my man Ghost, the dude who played Ghost. I mean, these guys are great actors. And even kudos to 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? You know, and some of the creativity this man been able to do, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, man, you know, we don't give ourselves enough credit, you know what I'm saying? So, but we don't need other groups to give us credit. You know, we can give our own selves credit, you know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, even if we didn't get nominated or wasn't nominated this year or whatever, we still great, you know what I'm saying? So salute to black actresses and black actors in Hollywood. That's what I'm going to say on that, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as sports, man, the Cleveland Cavaliers, my home team, they traveled to L.A. to play LeBron the other day this past week. And, man, it was, you know. Oh, and by the way, if y'all was wondering who I was rooting for, I was rooting for Cleveland. Believe it or not, I told y'all when LeBron played Cleveland, I'm always rooting for Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the only time I don't root for LeBron is when they playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I was rooting for Cleveland. You know, I just want y'all home fans from Cleveland, Ohio, if you're watching this YouTube, just know that. But I'm a diehard LeBron James fan, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know, I had to root for the Cleveland Cavs. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos to LeBron, man. I hope he gets a couple more rings before he retires. You know what I'm saying? Because he put Cleveland on the map, and so he'll always be my man. You know what I'm saying? Out of Northeast Ohio. You know. So yeah, and then, oh yeah, the national championship, man. Wow, man. So LSU, man, them boys. I didn't get a chance to watch the game because I was working, but LSU took them out, man. I guess that was poetic justice since the Saints, all you Saints fans, you know, you got robbed last year in the playoffs, and of course you lost this playoff year, you know what I'm saying? So at least you got a team from Louisiana that won the championship. So I know that, you know, that's some, you know, it ain't, of course it ain't, I know Saints fans say, man, I wanted my Saints, but, you know, at least y'all got a national champion as far as college football in the state of Louisiana. So kudos to Louisiana fans down there in Louisiana, you know. But anyway, people, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's it on sports and little entertainment. But I'm looking forward, like I said, I'm looking forward to this year, man. I think we got the Olympics going on this year, 2020, and then we got then we, of course, I know you guys, a lot of you guys are looking forward to late 2020 when the election is, you know. But like I say, people, it ain't an election, it's a selection. So, you know, we'll see. But, you know, your Democrats, I know y'all hoping your man, either Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders come through, or whoever, you know what I'm saying, as far as the Democratic Party, or whoever y'all voting for as far as the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? But man, all these guys, in my opinion, they've been selected by the Jesuits, and they're just depending on what they willing to do, they get selected. So, but as long as your boy, if he goes to war with Iran, it's gonna be on and popping. So, and I feel that's still gonna happen. But anyway, family, I'm gonna get out of here. This is the Black Amnesia Show. This was my 5th edition, and if you like, please subscribe to the show. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you enjoyed it. This conversation I had talking about the Jesuits, the ones who are controlling the world, aka the Vatican, aka the Black Pope, the one with the hidden hand that you don't see. You know what I'm saying? And so I hope some of you got that information that I had on Facebook, those who follow me on Facebook. I want to leave you as I came with the greeting words of peace, and we say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. Peace, family.